Alright, here's my second engine that I built in the last couple months. It's an antique, a version of an antique engine that I used to have. And I made patterns for the legs and the cylinder, and then I have them cast and I machine all the parts. It takes about 2 months to build it. Has a 2 3/4 bore, 4-inch stroke, and the flywheel is 12 inches in diameter. Really nice Swift oiler. Probably was never sold. It's like brand new. Very hard to come by. So steam pressure comes in, fills the tank, and then it's metered out. The oil is metered out through these valves. And I only have them open about 1/4 of a turn, maybe 1/8 of a turn, to supply enough steam for the engine. And this one too. 1/8 of a turn should do it. Beautiful oiler. Very hard to come by and very expensive. Let's see, the engine itself, just from the base here to the top of the engine, is 28 inches. Overall, it's 32 inches tall with the wood below it. Runs like a top beautifully. I have a grease point right here for the crankshaft bearing, and grease point here for the pin, crank pin that goes inside of here. These are blow-down valves. You always want to open them up a little bit before you run it. I'll open them up here. They're kind of hot. And I'm going to turn on the steam and fire it up. This engine does not have a alternator on it. It could have a 14-inch pulley here, like my other one, and an alternator sitting right here for somebody that wants to do that themselves. I'm going to turn on the steam, and also have the crank about 90 degrees, and it'll fire right up. The single cylinder steam engines are that way. Of course, now I've got the valves open, so I've blown out the water, that condensation that might get in there. I'm going to turn the crank back to 90 degrees the other way. It doesn't matter which way. And that's probably about 200 RPM there. But when you're running an alternator, at the alternator, it'll be running at about, probably 1,000 RPM. I'll go get my RPM gauge and see. There's an RPM gauge. So right in that, right there. It looks like about 300. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 300 RPM right there. I'll turn up the steam a little bit and it'll go faster. So at the alternator, it'll be turning over 1,000 RPM. About 400 there. So, I'll just turn down the steam a little bit. Really nice eccentric right here. It controls the valve, steam valve, in the valve chamber. And you time that with a piston and it runs. Imagine that. Well, my name is Ross. My phone number is 206-948-0770. You can email me at anacortessteam anacortessteam@gmail.com. That's anacortessteam@gmail.com. All one word on the anacortessteam. You can search for this engine. It's for sale on eBay. Up until when it sells. You'll find it at just search steam engine off-grid. And it's just running off one of my 20-inch boilers. You can buy those on eBay when I have them too. Although right now there aren't any. That's about it.